What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Still here with Big Bro, episode 8. So let me throw some things at you. Talk about the mob life. And
which mob?
Let's just go back
to
the
mob or the.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw some both. Matter of fact, let's just talk about it. Okay, so
top mob.
What is your views on J. Edgar Hoover then?
Well, outside of him being a homosexual, I think J. Edgar Hoover was a hell of a strategist. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I look at J. Edgar Hoover, I think about the Caesars, the Greeks and the Romans and their empire.
Okay, now this is gonna be deep. So when you think of right, I see where you're going. Right. Go ahead.
So
go ahead. I see where you're
they
going.
were strong and very powerful, but everybody know they was bisexual.
Right.
They, like boys, you have a woman in one hand and a man in another, and ISIS and ISIS and everything else.
Right.
So that's how I look at J. Edgar Hoover. You know what I mean? Some of the main people that You
believe he built an empire?
Who?
J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
bid it for us, bro. Bring it out.
He really built the bureaus of investigation. You know what I mean? He made that into a private entity among his own base. Like J. Edgar Hoover, president couldn't even check.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somehow he was able to get, I don't know if it was the Senate or President Truman, one of them signed him off as his own entity, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Don't question it type of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he had eyes on everybody, every president, every Congress, every senator, every movie star. I mean, anybody in America that was worth talking about, you know what I mean? Important in any type of way, whether, money, mob, I don't care. He had information on everybody to where he can control it.
Could you have put me up on game on something?
The files of J. Edgar Hoover, it's on, go in.
But you told me that at one time they didn't even have guns.
No, because the Bureau of Investigation was not, they was for investigating white collar crimes. That I think the first time they actually got into the gangster era was with Machine Gun Kelly now. You know what I'm saying? The bank robbers. You know what I mean? I think that's what actually got the feds to where they became a domestic police for violent criminals. You know what I mean? What's the famous guy out of here that they killed in Chicago at a theater a long time ago? What was his name?
In Chicago that they killed at a theater?
Mm-hmm.
He was a mob person?
He was a bank robber. Back then, the bank robbers had just as much power as the mob, because they was robbing all the banks, and then he had a whole crew, Babyface, Nelson.
Man, in Chicago, they killed him at the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Dang, what was his name? You got Machine Gun Kelly, Babyface Nelson. It'll come to me. But, and how they tricked her was the girl in the red dress. When the guy come out with the girl in the red dress, that's the guy that we're looking for. And they shot him up, the feds.
So that's the first time
that they actually really get involved where they want to carry guns and machine guns and stuff like that. Because I don't think at first they had that power. It was more of a paperweight mob, the feds was. Bureau of Investigation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just investigate, they Bureau of Investigation, they investigating like white collar crimes, companies, stuff like that, pharmaceuticals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They was never supposed to be for the street people. You got the state and the local police for that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Local and state prisons. You know what I mean? So when you go federal, it's like, okay, that's a whole new different Mac.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're in a whole new different field. So yeah.
So they didn't have guns. Then they got the power afterwards.
Well, yeah, after they smashed the bank robbers, the top bank robbers in the country, you know, they was robbing banks, killing people. Man,
Right.
it was tough, man. Machine Gun Kelly, Babyface Nelson, they had a whole crew of bank robbers.
Right.
You know, and they was all up under this one guy. And that's the guy that created so much chaos for the feds that they had to go to the Senate to get, you know, approval and all that to carry real weapons on the streets. You know what I mean? The Thompson machine gun.
So they didn't have weapons at first, and that's how they ended up getting them.
Yeah, they just suit and tie.
Right.
They started going at it with Machine Gun Kelly and them. That's when and Babyface Nelson and Pretty Boy Floyd. You remember them names?
I remember that.
Yeah, them the legendary bank robbers in the 1920s and 30s, right?
There's so many mob people.
Now, that's just the bank robbers in the day.
Right.
But the mob you're talking about, I believe, is the Italian mob. Probably the Five Families or something like that out of New York.
Okay, because I'm trying to see like how what okay, so he had basically anybody in America that was of any type of importance, basically.
Get a file on him.
Yeah, file on him.
He's spying on him.
Right, because it would say he had stuff on. But one thing it did, I would say that one thing it did say, if I ain't mistaken, didn't it say something about Malcolm X was the only one he didn't have no dirt on? Because they could never find no dirt on him. They had dirt on Martin Luther King, but
you know the dirt on Martin Luther King just he fucking
right.
I mean that's not. I mean, you know, other
well,
than
it means a lot based upon his title of being a rapper.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit,
but
at Solomon.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it depends on
when you talking about the church thing. That basically
what
bad.
Century are you in? You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, really, what millennium? Because you know, there's thousands of years ago. So, it basically, what time frame are you in? You know, because the actual people that were the chosen people of God back in the day, them kings had 300 wives and maybe 1,000 concubines.
Yeah.
So you know, it just depends where you at, you know, with your studies, what you know what I mean.
But he did black. Okay, but he did blackmail basically anybody that was some importance.
That's right. But his focus was politics. Other politicians, movie stars,
because he knew it was power and influence. Power and influence. Okay, so with that being, that's another thing people don't get. What made Jesus so hated? See, people they look at the surface, but when you see the influence,
right.
And they know the power of influence have the power to overtake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can just be a regular, but if people that got so much love for you, they will actually go to war for you and kill for you based upon the love they have for you. And that's what made Jesus a threat. Because they like, 5,000 people coming to hear you talk and following you for days.
Yeah, and then in that country they was in at that time, that land, you know, the population was small. You know, we had about 6 to 8 billion now people on this planet. In the 60s, we was probably maybe 3 billion, 3 or 4 billion. You know, so now you're talking a good almost 2,000 and some years ago, right?
Right.
So you know the population on the planet, they probably had about 1 billion people on this planet, if that. You know what I mean? So that was a very small population compared to where we at in the world today. You know, we almost about 7, 8 billion people. That's a lot of people. Right.
And I think that's what he feared so much about. And he talked about that, like Martin Luther King and everything, like you say, politics and anybody of influence in the entertainment thing, because if you had, like a lot of people in the entertainment world don't even know the power they got. Like, let's take Pac for instance. Pac had so much people that were crazy about him all over the country,
but he didn't know that.
Exactly. But if he had the knowledge to know that, I want everybody that rock with me, who would thug like me, follow me.
It's a mark. He got revolutionary.
What? Exactly.
And he was.
But that's what
J.
Edgar Hoover now knew.
Yeah, they capitalized on all
right.
that.
And that's why he ceased it in the beginning. Let's cease it. Let's put
for the Hollywood stars.
Yeah, let's cease it in the very beginning.
It's control. It's control.
Yeah, very beginning.
You got to listen. This is how you look at it. We are all citizens of the United States of America.
Right.
So the government is your chief.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You want something or not?
You're a citizen under the United States government.
Right.
You got to remember that.
Right.
You own their books as a member of them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you think they're gonna try to control their citizenship, their citizens? Or you think you're just gonna do anything you want to do? No, you're gonna do what we allow you to do.
Right.
That's why we got laws and policies. And if you break these laws and policies, that gives me the power. You understand what I'm saying? As I ain't gonna say you're oppressor, you know what I'm saying? But
they're gonna be in a more intellectual way, even though we know that's what it is.
As your tribal leader
and representative
to run you under the wall.
Right.
You done broke the law.
Right.
Go get it right now.
And it's crazy if you look at it, there's nothing you can do in this country to make a profit
without the government getting a cut.
Yeah. Or it's against the law. I don't care. It can be something as simple as selling bottled water legally. I'm just talking about legally.
Right. I had a guy tell me one time, bro. He said, man, you know, I ain't no yes man. I said, yes man. What do you mean by that?
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what he mean, but I'm finna get on you. Right. I said, yes man. So that mean that you only follow your ideas, your own ideas, if you ain't no yes man. I don't know nobody like that. You know, everybody needs somebody else.
Influence.
Yeah, help, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To accomplish your greatest success. You don't do it by yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I told him, I said, listen, who you work for, man? Don't you got a job? Like, yeah, I work for this plant. Well, you're a yes man for that plant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you run that plant? No, you work for the people at that plant. So really, you a slave.
Yeah.
You know,
because that was the name of it back then.
When you saying you ain't no yes man, you saying you're not a yes man to me?
Right. That's what it means.
Or are you saying you're not no yes man, period? Because if you say that, you're lying.
Right.
You know, everybody on this planet got to answer to somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not in control of your own destiny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost predestinated in their way. But your mind ain't that great to figure that part out. You know, that's a whole new level. You know, now you got to get a little spiritual.
Right.
So, you know, I laughed at him and then I made him understand that what he said, you know what I'm saying, was not a fact, not an actual fact. It's not even the actual truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care who you is, you're answering to somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. True.
Yeah. So, and that's what a lot of people think. You know, they forget that everybody in this country, you are in a gang. A gang only means a group of people. Now, was it a group of criminals, a criminal gang? You understand what I'm saying? Just like your organization. There's nothing wrong with the organization, but when the organization is a criminal organization,
right,
that's when you're breaking the policies.
Okay, give me the histories of, you know what? Be right back.